Let's talk about nutrition. Can animals make their own food?
Animals?
Can they make their own food?
No.
From where do we get the food?
From the animals.
Just from the animals? Okay, I'm getting food from the animals, but I'm vegetarian.
No, you can also get it from plants.
But we always get our food from the plant, either directly or indirectly. Let's talk about the lion. What do the lion eats? A deer? What do the deer eats? The grass. So that means lion indirectly, if there will be no grass, there will be no deer, and the lion will be starving, hungry. He stays hungry, right? So every organism, every living thing on the earth, some directly eat the plants, but some indirectly finds the plants useful, just like the carnivores. Because the carnivores eat the herbivores, but the herbivore needs to eat the grass, right? If there would be no grass, no herbivores, and obviously no carnivores, right?
Yeah.
But what do the plants have? Do the plants have food inside them? That's why you eat apples?
Now they make the food.
Yes, and the method by which they make the food is called the photosynthesis. Can you tell me why it's important for the plants to grow under the sunlight? What would happen if you don't give them sunlight?
The plants are kind of like us. They need a certain amount of things like water. They need they need carbon. We need oxygen, but they need carbon dioxide. But they have more stuff than us. They also need sunlight to live. Otherwise, they just go down and die. So
So why do they actually need the carbon dioxide? Because they make use of the carbon dioxide to make the food, right? So photosynthesis is when the plants make food. Why do you think we eat apples? Why I eat the wheat bread? What does the wheat have that I started to take the energy out of it? It has the energy that the plant stores for itself. But then you pluck the fruit and you eat it yourself. Right?
yeah.
So, in the plants, the carbon dioxide that they are taking in, they are actually making it, they are actually using make of it to turn it into the food. Plus, in this same process, they also release the oxygen gas, and they can only and only do this in the presence of the sunlight. If there will be no sunlight, they can never make the food. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. And where do they make?
But then how plants make food by themselves, but sometimes plants also bees pollution I forgot
Pollution.
pollution. They go to the plants and they do that and
Pollination. Okay, pollination you're talking about, yeah?
then yeah,
What
the
happened?
bees pollinate and
Bees
they
just
make
help them grow the bees just help them grow the seed. They actually go to collect that sugary thing that they have is called the fluid. It's called the nectar, right?
and then they put the nectar from so they go to one plant and then they get the nectar from there and go to another plant and like drop the nectar in that
No,
plant.
that's the pollen. That's the pollen. Right. What happens? Did you ever touch a flower and you see there is something yellow color thing that fall on your finger, a powder color thing?
Yeah.
So they don't collect it. They actually go to collect that honey-like thing that's called the nectar from where they make the honey. But that sticky thing, that yellow color thing for powder that falls on your finger, is actually falls on their body. And when they move to the another flower, that pollen falls on the another flower, and that's how they complete the pollination and makes the fruits to come. Right?
Yeah.
But how does the fruit become swollen and bigger and have a lot of food inside it? Because of the photosynthesis. So, what happens in the photosynthesis? The leaves are the kitchen of the plant because the photosynthesis happens in the leaf, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, what happens in the photosynthesis? The leaves trap the sunlight. They also take in the carbon dioxide from the air, and apart from that, what else they can collect? Water through the roots. because they need three things. So carbon dioxide coming from here, the water going in through the roots, but then the water moves up, goes into the leaves. So everything goes into the leaves, and the carbon dioxide and the water, they just mix up together, and sunlight just give them energy, and then they make the food and the oxygen. And this process is known as the photosynthesis. Now understood?
Yeah, but like I've done like a experiment at school in year 2, but I don't remember it. How does, since the water drops in the soil to the roots and the water goes up through the stem and in the leaves, then how does it go up because of gravity?
Okay, so you can say there's a kind of pressure pump that actually pulling the things up, right?
Yeah. So like the experiment that I did was like there's like a lot of cups of water with coloring, different colors, and then a long piece of tissue and put it in one, and then in another cup, and then in another cup, in another cup, and then the water kind of like I forgot the word.
Moving up.
It goes inside the tissue and
Tissues, is it plant tissues they told you about?
yeah, like
Yeah. See, our body is also made up of the tissues. Let's say you drink water, but your whole body needs the water. How will that water from the stomach can travel to your foot? It moves one by one through the tissues, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So same thing happens. The many tubes are being like over here. This thing has many tubes. So water first pass on to this one, another tube, another tube, another tube, and this kept on happening until it don't reach the maximum height of the plant, right? And there is always something that's pulling the water up. You're gonna learn about what that something is later, okay? But you can remember that there is something that's always pulling the water up, okay?
Okay.
So now you understood about the photosynthesis, what the photosynthesis is?
Yeah.
Yes, the process of making food by the plants under the sunlight by making use of the carbon dioxide and the water. And where it happens? In the kitchen. So plants can make their own food. So the potatoes that we eat, the fruits that we eat, why they're big and swollen? Because it's the leaves that had made the food, and then they store the food. Just like when you make the extra food, you store it in the fridge, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to note down what photosynthesis is.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay. So the plants can make their own food, but can animals too?
No.
Animals cannot make their own food, so they either eat other plants or they eat other animals, right?
Yeah.
So plants take in the carbon dioxide. So you were telling me the plants take in carbon dioxide, they take in to make the food, and they only take in the carbon dioxide when the sun is out. That means only in the day. So what do they do in the night? The same thing you do. They take in oxygen and release the carbon dioxide in the night time, right?
Yeah.
Yes, because they can only and only make use of the carbon dioxide in the daytime when the sun is giving the energy to it. All right?
Yeah.